What's going on, guys? I'm making a quick little video. I do apologize, I do have a cold, but I'm gonna show you guys from the title, obviously, how to drive manual, at least a little bit. I'm not gonna go super in depth. That's gonna be my next video, but basically, so with the manual transmission, you have a clutch, a brake, and a gas pedal, obviously. And the difference between that and anything else, you shift on your own. So obviously that is your shifter, and I do apologize, my car's a mess. But so you'll push in the clutch pedal, you'll start to let out once you're in gear. Like, granted, you push in the clutch pedal, you shift it into gear, and you'll start to let off, and about, for my car personally, 2 to 3 inches off the floor, you want to just like tap the gas. You don't want to get it above, like, let's say 2,000 RPM. So for me specifically, I will probably give it enough gas to maybe get it up to 1,500. And I'm gonna let out the gas. I'm not gonna start to move forward and then just drop the clutch. I'm gonna continue my slow speed of letting off the clutch, and then basically the car will start to move. And so I'll give you guys a quick shot. I don't know if you can see it, but we'll give it a go. All right. So you push in the clutch, and then you shift into gear, and then you let off, start to give it some gas, and you're moving. And from there, it's pretty easy, as you just push in the clutch, let off a little, and there you are. So I'm gonna pull up here and stop. And one thing that people don't always understand is you're gonna give it more gas as you let off the clutch. You're not just gonna hold it at 1,500 and not do anything. Because I guess that's one part that it's like any other automatic. You're gonna keep giving it gas. And as to where people are just like, I've let off the clutch, I'm only giving it a little bit of gas. Like, you gotta keep giving it more gas, or it's gonna like sputter and choke up and whatnot, and it's gonna jolt you back and forth. But I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of film of me just driving around. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but we'll see how this goes. And then the other thing, as your car is about to die, so you're letting off the clutch, you're not giving it enough gas, the RPMs are gonna fall. You can save that by just slamming your clutch down to the ground, and obviously the transmission and whatnot is still moving, and so it's gonna start back up. And as I figured out personally, going about 40 miles an hour, when your car dies, if you have speed, you can jump start it as long as it's rolling and you drop the clutch. It is quite terrifying to do in second gear at 40 miles an hour, but that's another story for another day. Well then, let's get this going. Alrighty guys, so there, pushing the clutch, let out a little bit, and give it some gas. So now, got the clutch in, shift into first, let off the clutch, and once you find your engagement point, it's a whole lot easier, because on hills, I just go to that engagement point and give it some gas. So then we're gonna make this turn right here. People probably looking at me like I'm a freak with this GoPro on. I really hope it's not hitting on the ceiling. All right. That's all very simple. And as we're coming up here, so once it's on, like once you're moving, there's really nothing else you have to do. It's basically just like an automatic. But one thing for people to know, the lower gears have more torque, obviously, but some people might not know that. So if you're trying to do a burnout or any of that sorts, you're gonna be in first, and you're gonna kind of drop the clutch and then apply your brake. But I've done a burnout yet. That's just me doing power slides and whatnot. So anyway, we're cruising. RPMs are sitting about 2,000. We're going 30 miles an hour. I could shift again, and pretty much from there, like, that's it. There's a lot of discussion on what you do when you're coming to a stop. Some people downshift and so on. For me, I just go into neutral and I apply the brake. So here, I'm gonna shift into neutral and I'm just gonna cruise to a stop. It's not too hard. Yeah, so there's not much else to say about that. So here we're going 20, about to add some gas because I can't just sit in neutral. And you just shift into second, and you know, you do your normal shift. It's not that hard. What might be confusing to some people is in that situation where you're just cruising along and you have to go into a gear, what gear you go to. Usually, if you're in 10, you go to second. If you're in 20 miles an hour, you go to second. But if you're anywhere over 20 miles an hour, you're better off to just go with 30 miles an hour, or third gear, sorry. But that's pretty much it for this video. Alright guys, sorry to just jump from all the way down there to over here, but basically that's kind of a quick rundown of it. And I know it's a little bit short, but I'm just giving you guys like a little taste. So yeah, I know it's short, but I'm just giving you guys a little taste of it, and I will come out with a longer, more like explained with more angles and whatnot on what you're doing. But really, it's not too hard. You're just pushing the clutch, shifting into gear, giving it some gas, like that's all. And again, for like a last review, like once you know where your catch point is, you'll get it pretty quickly. The other thing is that probably after a week you'll be good enough to do it yourself. But it's all about getting out there and dealing with the impatient person behind you who's honking at you while you're on a hill, and as you kill it and whatnot, like kind of figuring your way around the manual, which it's not too hard, but then again, it does take a little bit to kind of get comfortable with it, especially when you are out there and people are getting mad and it's rush hour, and then lucky enough you're on a hill. So that's all for this video. Sorry it was kind of short. I hope I did help some of you guys. Do me a favor and comment if you have any questions, because I will answer them. And besides that, if you found this video helpful, please drop a like and hell, share it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.